Steven, you shared this screenshot with me right before the call today. You said this was your first big day. It's December 12th, $2,000 in revenue. We're going to talk about this. I don't want to get into it quite yet. And then I also wanted to share this screenshot here so everybody knows Steven's got some credibility here. He's done basically $750,000 in revenue since November 1. Okay, that's 12,000 units. And you can see the bulk of that has been in 2022, right? So back here was probably Christmas scaling, right? Your first big day probably was right around here somewhere. Mm-hmm. You went ahead and scaled that up to almost what, $7,000 a day, something like that. You hit something for Valentine's Day. You can see that right here. Is this Mother's Day or Father's Day?
A little bit of both. At the end of Mother's Day, I was testing and I found something, and then I was able to, the same product that I found, I was able to scale up.
Yeah, very good. Is this all the same product, or are they different?
They're different.
Very good. So like this was one product, this was another, this was another.
Yes.
Great, man. So you basically hit 3 holidays with 3 semi-winning products. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. And then right here, is this again a 4th product?
Not it's a combination of 3 different products and 3 different niches as well. So just a combination here.
Is it these 3 products or 3 new products?
New products.
Amazing, man. I love that. You're consistently hitting winners. That's amazing. Mm-hmm. And you can see the bulk of your sales has all been in Sleepy Q3, right? Basically, when everybody says e-com is dead, you have been absolutely crushing it.
I've been testing, getting ready for Q4. I mean,
dude, I love it. That's amazing. Let's get into this a little bit. Okay, Steven Martinez. Let's learn a little bit about you, buddy.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining. So, how I got started, I've always been I've been an accountant in the film industry here in New York for about 7 years. I've been working; it was a great job, but I just always wanted to do something more. I always felt like I was just like grinding, just like pushing paper, and I wanted something more and really bring out my problem solving skills and my creativity. And I wasn't able to do that where I was working. So COVID happened. I went down, had so much time to do whatever I want. So I went down to Miami for a few months to stay with one of my uncles. And I met a guy. His name was Richard Toe, and another guy, Laz Chavez. And they were into ecom, and they actually had a program called Ecom Profit Masterclass. And they were like, yeah, we've made millions online. Making something like that. Wow, that's crazy. And I had like a moment like the Wolf of Wall Street, like with Donnie, were like, I don't believe it. Show me. He opened up his account. He showed me over $600,000 in deposits. And I'm like in a single month. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, where do I sign up? What do I have to do? So that was how my journey started. I joined their program, and they had a walkthrough of how to actually build a Shopify store and how to do some drop shipping. I created my first drop shipping store, and they had a program where they run your Google ads for you for a monthly fee. So I was doing that, and all they told me to do was just to add products to your store until you find an actual winner. So I did that for a while. I did find a product that did well in the summertime, which was these like inflatable mats that you can have in the pool, and also these like inflatable pools as well. Sorry, inflatable.
Is this like summer of 2020?
Yeah, okay. Around 2020, yeah.
Okay.
So summer 2020, and then inflatable boats as well. So the problem with this was, so I did around maybe like almost $40,000 in sales, but with the problem with drop shipping is I was drop shipping from China, and it was taking around 4 to 6 weeks, and hence it's an actual summer product. So like at the end, everything that I sold, the money went right back in chargebacks. So I completely failed. But there was a friend of mine that I was in contact with, and I saw that he went to an event. It was like Ecom World, and during that event, there was like these speakers up there, and I was just like looking at them. I went on Instagram, started like literally just like searching for every single speaker that was up there to see, and most of them were all famous. And then there was this one guy. He had like 300 or 400 followers. I'm like, who is this guy? Why is he up there? And I'm like, all right, I gotta find out who it is. So I like looked him up. I found him on Instagram. His profile was open. I was like looking through all his like messages, and then I saw that he had like 2 or 3 students, and he was able to actually get them to 6 figures. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I message him, no response. I'm like, man, how am I gonna reach this guy? And then finally, I reached out to Carlos, my friend. And he's like, do you know this guy Reggie? Who is this guy? He's like, yeah, I know him. We talk every day. And I'm like, really? Well, I want him to be my coach because it looks like he's has some students and they found success, and I need that to happen to me. So he connected us through Skype, and he finally answered, and I joined his call. So it was great.
That's amazing, man. So that happened in summer of 2020, right? And you went to, what was the name of the event?
So I didn't go to the event. I just was on Instagram, and I saw that my friend Carlos went to this event.
Oh,
so
you were just looking
it wasn't
up.
right in. So it was like at the end. It was like already 2021 because again, I was first trying. I was working on my own store with that was drop shipping for a while, and that didn't work out. So some time has gone by. So when I originally actually started working with Reggie was February 2021.
Okay, a lot of time passed.
Yeah, a lot of time has passed. Yeah,
between middle 2020 and February 2021. Did you say February 2021?
Yeah, that's when I officially started working with Reggie.
That's like 6 to 8 months. So that entire time frame in between, you were mainly just focused on drop shipping. These guys running your Google ads for you. Or were you doing other stuff?
When it didn't work out, I just took some time off and I wasn't really doing anything. So, and then I was trying to get a hold of Reggie, but I wasn't able to. But then I'm like, hey, wait a minute, let me just hit up Carlos. Maybe he knows him. And then like that was how I was able to get through and actually join his actual course, which was great.
Yeah. So is this our Carlos? It's ShineOn or a different Carlos?
No. His name is Carlos Portal.
Got it.
He lives in Miami. Yep. He's very good with Google Ads. So he used to run on Google Ads. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so Carlos and Reggie kind of knew each other, and they got you connected. Okay, so that's February of 2021 that you get kind of hooked up with Reggie here. Now, when did the Ecom Family Academy start? Is that already going at this point? Or
no, that started, I believe, in November, last November. I believe so. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So it's just like it's private coaching. I take it.
I was doing private coaching, so yeah, I took a leap. It was kind of expensive, I thought. So, and but I was like really like I really want this to happen for me. And
hey, can I ask you a question? Yeah. Sorry, man. Can you share how much it cost?
Yeah, it was like $10,000.
For how
long? I was scared about this, but he continued to always show up. But even over my time, it was about, he gave me around, I believe, 12 to 15 weeks, something like that. That's what we agreed on. But he kept showing up, giving me calls, even after my time, because honestly, it wasn't really working for me when I was even with the one-on-one.
Well, he probably saw you were a good student. So it was $10,000 for basically what, 3 to 4 months?
Yep.
Now, the reason I wanted to talk about that real quick is because we have a lot of people listening, and we always talk about investing in your education, investing in yourself, and treating this like you would any other skill. And I want people to understand that you don't have to spend necessarily $10,000 to get one-on-one coaching like you did, unless your budget and your needs kind of fit that. There are a lot of other ways you can get the education that you need to succeed in this game. Reggie's got some cheaper programs I know of. We have some cheaper programs. There's a lot of coaches out there. You need to find somebody that fits and clicks with you. But I wanted to highlight that you shouldn't be afraid to invest in your own education. Almost every top seller that we have seen for like the last 2 years, the one thing that like 90% of these people have in common is all of them have taken either coaching or courses from somebody else who's already been there before. So seriously, if you're listening and you're trying to figure out how to make this real for you, this is a note you need to be jotting down. 90% of our top sellers have invested in education and taken courses or coaching from people who have been there before. So don't be afraid to do that. So all right, so you've paid them $10,000 for 12 to 16 weeks of coaching now. Tell us about the coaching, what your experience was, and kind of how Reggie stayed with you until you found success.
Yeah, so actually the calls were recorded. Sometimes they were longer, but 10 sets talk a lot. So sometimes they run even longer, but they're all recorded and then he sends them to me. And we go through it. It's every call is kind of different. It's kind of relaxed. We just talk about through every different details. So the biggest thing for me was actually dealing with the mindset and continuing to really focus on, hey, understanding my why. Why am I a customer's buying this from me? Why would they buy this product or service? And honestly, learning how to market. That was my biggest issue. I didn't know how to market. So
like the psychology behind it.
The psychology part of it. It's not my ads. It's not everything. It's like, hey, how to actually do product research and find a product, find your the actual why someone's buying, where, and then figure out, hey, where are these actual customers going to actually buy these products?
So give me some examples of like some mindset or paradigm shifts that helped you get to the next level at this stage.
So mindset paradigm shift. So honestly, for like, let's say for an example, we know that right now that it's back to school that just recently passed. I really had to really like understand. I feel like, hey, I have to understand, hey, what's actually happening? Why are someone's actually buying? So we know that I can easily go to somewhere like Google Trends, which is absolutely free for everyone that's on this call. And you can go on there and actually just type in keywords and Google Trends will tell you when it's actually trending. So if I'm able to identify, hey, back to school is on a rise, and any type of product that's related to going back to school, so it can be back to school supplies, or for these ShineOn products, it would be honestly any gift that's related to a daughter or son. And if I'm able to just make a good message and just put it in front of any type of parent, then I'm probably going to get a sale. And because I really have to understand, like, hey, there's a parent somewhere that has a son or a daughter that, you know, they're going off to college, and you really want to tell them, no, like, hey, I'm proud of you, and I love you, and I'll always be there with you. So,
no, that's great, man. I really like how you rounded that off there at the end, because it's not parents buying a gift necessarily for like their kid going to high school or elementary school. It's you have to think through the occasion, the buying event. What is the buying occasion? And it's much more likely that a parent that is basically sending their daughter off or son off to become a young adult, essentially, right, by going to college. So it could be their first time away from home for a lengthy period of time. That's the buying occasion. That's the buying event. And you're like drilling down into that psychology, right? You're like, okay, so who are the people I'm working with? Well, I've got daughters going off to college. I have parents that might be empty nesting for the first time ever. Like, how do you get in there and start playing with those emotions, pulling on those heartstrings to sell some product, right?
Yes, like you guys say, if the message is to make me cry, then I'm probably not going to buy. Yep.
Yeah, 100%. If they cry, they buy, people. All right. Okay, so you're doing these coaching calls with Reggie. Mindset was one of the bigger things that you kind of had to get into. You had to learn how to market and get into buyer psychology and things like that. What else? Tell us more about
so honestly, again, keep it going. Like, I have to stay coachable. Coach, every single time it's not working for me, he's always asking me, hey, so how many products are you actually testing? How many angles are you testing? What's your focus? What are we going after? What's really, again, focus on what research did you find? Again, I was kind of like testing rapid fire. I was always like, I wasn't really diving deep and like focusing on one thing, on one product, and really diving into the why. And I was always blaming my ads. So I was like, it's not working for me on TikTok. Teach me Facebook. He taught me Facebook. It's not working for me on Facebook. Teach me Google. And he's like, oh my God, Steven, I need you here. You got to really like take a step back and focus. And it got really bad for me because, again, I didn't find my first winner until November 19th. So there's a lot of time has passed by. So you can imagine, there's so many emotions that I felt at the time. I felt defeated, and I like that coach was with me throughout the whole time because, again, his ceiling is my floor. So it's kind of like, hey, I've been there. I quit my job in the summertime, and I had to go back. During that time, actually, I I was going broke. So I was like, I went back to my boss who I worked with for almost 7 years. And I was like, hey, can I come back? And she's like, sorry, I already gave your job to someone else, but maybe on the next season, I can reach out to you if something's available. So what I started doing was to keep up with the ad spend, I started doing Uber Eats just to keep up. So I had a credit card. It was tough. And I had a credit card from Navy Federal, and they gave me a $25,000 limit, which is great. I'm like, great. So I was like leveraging with this credit card. And then like at one point in time, I was like, I saw the credit. It was like $17,000 or $18,000. I'm like, listen, how am I going to pay this back? I have no idea. And I have nothing working for me. And, I always had a picture on my wall. It's like, you seen that old man that's like digging for a diamond?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always had that. Yeah, there's two of them. And I'm like, man, I'm always looking at that. And me personally, I live in New York in the Bronx. So I was living with family members. Everyone thought I was insane. So it's kind of like at the end, it was just became like an obsession. Like, no, this is going to happen to me. And anytime that it wasn't working for me, like Coach was always there, like just to talk about his experience and why I need to keep going. That's the most important thing. And then part of the structure as well, it's like a group setting as well. So I wasn't able to speak about this with like family members or friends because the reason anytime you tell them about your hopes and dreams and they don't see themselves or you achieving that right away, they're instantly telling you how's that's not going to work for you.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's kind of like, So I just stayed positive and continued pushing until something works. You got to keep going. You don't lose.
Dude, this is amazing. Never quit story. I freaking love
it. You gotta have the Kobe Bryant mentality. It's like we don't stop at the middle, we stop at the end. So it's kind of we got to keep going until we find that. We got to hit that goal and get that diamond.
Dude, I love it, man.
It's good. It's there for the taking. We just got to keep going. I find that just looking at different top sellers, they all share a common thing which is they're consistent. And they're always finding new winners. And if we go to the mastermind next year, most likely 90% of the people are going to be the same ones I saw back in March. Just because they're still on the grind, they don't let their foot off the gas. They keep going.
They treat it like a business.
Yep.
Yeah, they do they do the boring work every day.
Every day. And once you find that winner, and then you truly believe in yourself, like, hey, I can do this. Then that's when I really started like, hey, scaling up. And then I'm like focused over data over everything. I'm literally emotionless. I don't put emotion on any of my products. I have over 100 products in my store. I thought they were all great, but like I focused on what the data was telling me. And that's why I moved forward.
Yep. That's amazing. So, okay. So you start the coaching in February of 2021. You quit you're not, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you're not finding a lot of success. You quit your job in the summer anyways.
Yeah.
You do the Uber Eats method where you're paying for your ad spend with Uber Eats and a credit card, which is, dude, that's way out there, man. That is some risky stuff right there.
Yes.
So you apparently really believed in this vision and you believed in your ability to get there. Reggie continues to support you, it sounds like, as you kind of move through this phase. And then finally in November, you hit your first winner. So what was the difference between maybe the products you were testing in the beginning of summer versus what you were testing in November? Like what made the difference between losing to boom, finally having a spark of hope?
So I went through to like 3 or 4 stores. I was testing different type of products. They weren't ShineOn products. I did try ShineOn for a little bit, but I tested one product and like I got like 1 or 2 sales, but it wasn't really working. So I tested. I'm like, oh, it didn't work. So I went to Coach. I'm like, listen, this doesn't work. But what really kept me going, honestly, was around that time was another student, which was Jorge. He was doing ShineOn products and I saw him do his first $2,000 day, then his $4,000 day, and I'm like, wow. And I messaged Jorge. I'm like, Jorge, what's going on over there? Are you like, do you have a different sauce? Do you know something I don't know? He's like, no, you just got to keep going. It's the same. Like you can do this. And I kept going, testing different things. So I actually, what I did was I made 30 different messages, and to help me along, I actually, as well with the actual designs for them to be better, you have a nice actually group. It's called ShineOn Graphic Design Team, where there's different designers there.
Yeah, ShineOn Graphic Design. I think if you guys go to the search in Facebook, you just type ShineOn Graphic Design. We've got a Facebook group with over 100,000 people in it, where it's literally just designers there for hire that will make designs for you and stuff. So anyway, go ahead.
So I have this one designer, and she's made pretty much most of, I believe 95% of my designs. I just tell her, hey, I want this, do this, and then she'll make it for me, and it's great. And I absolutely love her, and we keep working together. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's amazing. There's a lot of really good designers in that group. So, dude, I'm gonna. We don't necessarily have to keep circling here, but I just want to revisit this quickly. I would just want to remind everybody of this. From literally February to November, right? That's 8 months, isn't it? It's 9 months where it was just an uphill battle. There was during that time. Nobody believes in you, right?
Nope, not even family. No, for everyone thought I was insane. I was obsessed. I was always by my computer. Reggie has calls 1 to 2 times a week. I was there in every call. I was that annoying guy that's always asking questions and in Reggie's DMs, asking like, it's not working for me. Yeah.
And during that time, it also sounded like you were jumping around to a bunch of different stuff, right?
Yeah, I was jumping around. Yeah.
Was that I assume was part of the reason it took you so long?
It was the majority, because he's like saying, I don't have a problem with you testing. It's the fact that you don't stay on one product long enough and really dive in and figure out the why.
So it was like, rather than just, you correct me here, it was like rather than just sticking with ShineOn and say the husband to wife niche, rather than just sticking with that in Facebook ads, for example, you were like, Facebook doesn't work. I go to TikTok. TikTok doesn't work. I'm going to change my product. I'm going to change my niche. It was like the whole time you were just changing stuff. You were basically like, just throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Yes, until something sticks. Yep.
Okay. So again, 9 months. Nobody believes in you. You're having no success. You spent $10,000 on coaching. Reggie's there. He's in your corner. He's rooting for you. You quit your job. You rack up $17,000, $18,000 in debt. You're doing the Uber Eats method to pay for your ads. You're everything is on credit, right? I'm guessing you got to start feeling pretty hopeless here. It reminds me of a David Goggins story that I don't know. It just always stuck with me. This apparently he was running. I don't know if it was an ultra. He's kind of wild. I don't know if he was running an ultra marathon or what he was doing. All I remember from the story is that he has to stop running. And they take his shoes off, and I guess his feet are just completely hamburger. Like his toenails are coming off. He's bloody. It's bad. And they're like, dude, you've got it. They were like, you need to tap out. You need to quit. And his response was, why would pain make me quit? And the reason I always highlight that, it sticks out to me in mind, is there are different kinds of pain, right? Like that's physical pain. But you were doing the same thing, right? You were basically saying no to quitting. You were enduring pain for a really long time to get to the prize. And you have to have that ability to succeed in this game. I do not care who you are. You have to get really comfortable with discomfort and with pain. It's going to become your friend for a little while. You're going to become bedfellows before you find the top of the mountain. There is no other way through it in this game. Coaches, courses, all those things can help you. They can shortcut it. They can help you get to the top faster. But there is no doubt going to be a period here where you are failing a lot, and you are going to want to quit. And the only thing that's going to make the difference between you and someone that's successful is whether or not you quit. So I just find that your story is, I love it, because you're definitely in the valley for an extended period of time, and you're running up debt. Things are looking desperate. Nobody believes in you, and you just kept pushing. That's amazing, man. So tell us about this first product that you hit. It was in, let's see, was it November? I'm trying to remember what.
Yeah. It was actually in your top selling niche, which was daughter here around January. Yep. December and January. And I was able to actually scale that to around 50,000 within like 10 days, which was great.
And this is your first one.
My first one, yeah.
Dude,
So
how did it
I
feel?
got it. That just gave me the confidence and boost to keep going and continue testing. And I rolled right into Valentine's Day and found not the same one, different one than I kept.
No, hang on.
Yep.
I want to spend some time on that for a second. So you're losing, ton of debt racked up, Uber Eats method. What did it feel like when, the first day you tested this product and some sales came in and you were like, I might be onto something?
I saw the change coming in. I'm like, what? Someone's actually buying from me? I thought I was dreaming for a second, and sales kept coming in. And then at the end of the day, I had $2,000 in sales, which is awesome.
Your first day with the product?
I believe it. Yeah. I think it was the first or second day. I vaguely remember, but yeah. And what I did was actually, coach thought I was crazy, but I needed money for ads. So I sold my car.
Dude, yes. I love this.
Yeah.
Dude, I freaking love that. So you're still in debt at this point too, right?
Still in debt. Yep.
Quit your job. Dude, you're just going for it, man. You're just swinging for the fences. I freaking love that, man. Talk about taking a leap, dude. This is like, have you seen Indiana Jones? I think it's like Raiders of the Lost Ark, where he's in the canyon. He's at the canyon, and he's got to get to the other side. And I can't remember what it was. He had a riddle or something that basically said he had to take a leap of faith, and he steps out over the canyon, and there's the bridge there, but it was invisible. You know what I'm talking about? Dude, that's you right there, brother. That's amazing, man. I love it. So you sold your car. How much money did that give you?
About 7,000. Keep going.
So no more Uber Eats at this point.
No, this time I was just focused on the ads.
You have burned all the bridges at this point. All the ships, you burned all the ships. I love that. So now you've got some cash. Still in debt, though.
Still in debt. Yeah.
That cash is going purely to ads. Okay, tell us what happened.
And I kept going. And then around Valentine's Day, I was able to hit around almost $90,000 from one design.
Revenue. What were your margins during this time?
Around 20%, 25%, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That 20 to 30% is pretty typical when you're at lower scale. So you did 50, but like in Q4 of 2021, and then you did 90 in Q1 of 2022, right? And you're at 20%, 25% margin. So you're looking at like what, 50, 60 grand profit? Is that right? It's probably a little high. 40, 50 grand profit?
I think it's a little high, yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Did you get your debt paid off?
I did. I got my debt paid off. Yeah.
Were you able to buy a car?
Yes.
Very good, man. Talk about a reversal.
It's actually changed my life. I kept going. I hit my first $100,000 month while I was actually at the mastermind, and then that was amazing in itself. I honestly didn't think that was possible, or I didn't think I was gonna hit it my first year. Honestly, I was just actually looking for the whole time. I'm like, hey, I'm happy with just getting that that extra $100 or $200 a day of income for me to just keep going.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing, man. So, and again, this was a second product. So, I mean, dude, you hit a first winner, then you hit a second winner. What did the first winner teach you, right, that enabled you to hit the second winner?
The first winner just honestly taught me right timing, actually the right design, actually focusing on the phrase itself. And I kept reading the phrase and actually identifying, hey, why is someone buying this? And what does the phrase say? And hey, does that phrase make me feel a certain type of way? So honestly, and then for all you sellers out there, it's really important that you really focus on the research at hand first. Find that good phrase, and then once you have one phrase, you don't need a whole bunch. Once you have that one phrase that you're getting sales, try a different angle. You can easily turn a daughter to son. And also, there's also sub niches like bonus daughter that works as well. And actually, bonus daughter was one of the top selling niches last year, I believe, in Q4.
Yeah, that niche always does well. the daughter niche, the husband to wife niche, the granddaughter niche, like those 3 niches just freaking crush all year long. Dude, that's amazing. So did you stay within the same niche and just tried like a different phrase, or?
Yes, I've tried many different phrases. I have many like sort of winners where it varies, but my actual true winner, it was a different niche, and I was able to scale that then around Mother's Day and Father's Day. And actually what I did was I took my winning phrase and just switched it to a different angle, and the same phrase worked. So I was able to get 2 winners out of the same phrase in 2 different angles. And that's how I was able to make those big numbers in Mother's Day and into Father's Day.
I bet Reggie is so freaking proud of you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate all the help, and he's always there, to help me along in my journey.
That's amazing, man. I love it. So you hit your first one, you did the 50. Your second one, you did the let's say 90, right? The third one here, it looks like it was into Mother's Day, going into Father's Day. Are we still in the same niche?
Different niche. Yep.
Different niche for this third one.
Correct.
Very cool. So tell us about that. And by the way, switching niches comes with, again, you have to go back to school, right? Because people buy for different reasons. So tell us about that.
So, I mean, it's all focused. I pull out always my holiday calendar and going out. So obviously Mother's Day. So any gift for mothers would work. But also keep in mind that there are husbands out there that want to also give gifts to their wives that are mothers. So if you have a product that's to my wife or to my soulmate, it will work as well. And also vice versa. And then if you're able to get that to work and you switch it to my man or leave it to my soulmate as well and just put it on a Cuban link, it'll work as well. And that's exactly what I did. And I was able to actually come up with those winners. Yeah, you got to identify why someone's buying and what time of year we are. So all my success has been focusing on always on data, looking at past winners and bringing them forward, changing them a bit, and honestly identifying key words. And I love that you're actually different conferences like that you have where you actually go over phrase building and the importance of that.
Dude, this is amazing. I absolutely love your story, dude. This is so inspirational. I'm getting chills, man. I'm so happy you were able to find success. And what has some of this meant for you kind of in your life? Like, in what ways has your life changed?
It's changed a lot. Again, and for those of you, as I kept going, not only Reggie, so I kept searching for different coaches as well. I'm always learning, I'm a student first. I'll always be a student. So in this group, honestly, I got some one-on-ones actually with another good coach within it, which is Washington Helps. And through him, I was able to actually learn that your TikTok strategy, which is amazing. And that's how, using that strategy, I was able to really scale some products during that Mother's Day and Father's Day niche. Yeah, period.
Dude, I love it, man. That's awesome. I don't know, man. It's just, what's your work ethic been like? Like, how many hours a day are you grinding through here?
No, so first off, to answer how's my life changed, I own my own apartment. I don't really have to. My store pays for my rent. I'm not really like looking at my account to see if I have enough money to pay for it. And because I used to live in a bedroom with like 4 or 5 different roommates, which it was tough. I live in New York City now. I live in Washington, idea. So it's great. Now I'm trying new things like coaching in the Ecom Academy, which is great. It's weird to me because coach is like, hey, I want you to teach you. I'm like, I'm not really good with public speaking. I've always been kind of like a shy, like to myself type of guy as well. And it was weird. I always get nervous when I do public speaking, but now since I've been doing it for a while now, I kind of get better at explaining things. And there are actually students that actually like care about what I have to say, which is kind of weird. I always used to just be like, hey, working, put my head down and just do my job. And that's it. But now it's kind of like,
dude, you're freaking doing amazing at speaking. Like, obviously this isn't a stage, but you have nothing to be concerned about. Trust me. Trust me, man. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of love in the comments here. No, this is super valuable, dude. Don't don't hide your light. You know what I'm saying? Like this is super valuable. It's this is going to help a ton of people. There are a lot of people listening to this right now that are in that valley, right? And
Mhm.
they're no one's believing in them, right? And they're trying to figure out, like, is this worth it? Is the cost worth it? I wouldn't recommend anybody, just to be clear, I wouldn't recommend anybody go into debt for this or anything like that. Stephen made his own decision there. I'm sure Stephen would probably agree with that. That's a risky
No,
deal.
just take it at one step at a time at your own pace, and just do what you can. Honestly, yes.
Anyway, yeah. So you take it at your own pace, fund it, get a job, do the Uber Eats method, whatever you need to do, pay for your ad spend. You don't want to go into debt or anything like that. But there are a ton of people right now listening to this that are in the valley, haven't found the winner yet. And I promise you, dude, this story, this is what I mean. Don't hide your light, right? It's like this story, what you've been through, the success you found, it's going to help a ton of people, dude. I guarantee it. There are tons of people listening here. You're giving them the extra push to not quit.
They got to keep going. You got to keep going. And also, it's always like the Kobe Bryant mentality. You got to keep going. And even if you do find success, you can't let your foot off the gas. We got to keep working at it and continue. Because since then, I've been able to find different winners just by rinse and repeat. Keep doing the same process, going really into my product research, identifying, hey, why is someone buying this? And that's how I've been able to find winners in different niches, which is great.
But, yeah, freaking love it, man. That's amazing. All right, so that was, let's say, here, I'm going to pull the graph back up here, and we can keep going. So you've got May going into June. That's this little spike here. How much was this spike worth?
That May spike, I don't quite remember. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. I don't remember. But this was just testing, honestly.
It looks like it's probably worth, I don't know, 30 grand.
Yeah.
40 grand, something like that, maybe all combined. But this was testing, so probably wasn't super profitable.
Testing, yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
honestly,
got a little surprise for you, man.
Okay.
I got Reggie on. Let me pull Reggie up real quick. What's up, Reggie?
What's up, family? What's going on? What's going on with you? Sitting here beaming with joy while we're at the ClickFunnels funnel hacking event, but I couldn't say. I wanted to say I'm so super proud of Stephen. Absolutely,
dude. So how much of this have you been able to watch? Any of it?
Listen, I have my headphones in. I'm also watching Adrian Moore's go over a whole bunch of different things. But I'm like, I'm tuned in on my family right now because my family is showing up and we are smashing goals every single day. And I'm just truly thankful and grateful to obviously relive Stephen's story, because while you guys are getting bits and pieces of it, man, it has been a journey. And guess what, guys? It is in less than a year, okay? Less than a year, guys, of what can happen if you get serious, okay? This would be Stephen's second Q4, all right, guys? So keep that in mind, all right? His second Q4, not like, he's done this 100 times, his second.
So, dude, I know we only got a few minutes here because you're at this conference. Dude, what were you thinking when Stephen racked up almost $20,000 in debt, sold his car, but every day he's grinding, he's showing up to the calls? What's going on in your mind during all of this?
So a lot of my students, my actual elite students, they all have the same or very similar story as us. We want it bad enough. We were trying to figure out exactly how to do this. And I always was transparent with all of them. I never wanted them to go through what Mrs. Ecom and I went, because we were negative 60,000 in the hole. So when Stephen was going down this road, I told Stephen, hey, don't do this, don't do that. But knowing what I would do, he did exactly what I would do. So day that we had finally got the product up and running, we were scaling, we were going over strategies like Stephen was talking about. We would talk multiple times throughout the week. I said, Stephen, I got something that can really turn up your products, but you got to have money for it. So if you're not ready, it's okay. So the very next day, Stephen goes, all right, coach, I got about $10,000. You ready? And I was like, from what? He goes, I sold my car. I said, you sold your car? Yeah, I stole my car. I'm ready, but I can get it back. I know I can get it back. And I was like, I said, Steven, I'm gonna hurt you. Okay, I'm gonna hurt you, Steven. But I was like, now that we're locked in, now that we understand the risk, right, and we understand that the reward was there, I said, I'm ready to go all in with you. I'm ready to show you exactly what to do. But you gotta listen. You gotta be coachable. You cannot deviate from this. You gotta be locked in. You gotta be ready. And that's what he did. Every single day.
That's amazing, man. You must, dude, it must be amazing as a coach to have a student like Steven where he's listening, he's taking action, he's not giving up. Steven kind of shared how he was all over the place for a while and he thinks that held him back from success. And I'm sure that was frustrating, but the fact he was just constantly willing to take action, never give up, dude, that's a dream student right there.
Yeah, no, definitely. So we have that with, I'm gonna get away from all the noise. Right, we have that with a lot of our family, right? I don't like to call our students because they're family, because I also understand that we all have a journey that we have to go through. And so for 6 months, right? See, Steven joined us in February, but for 6 months, he was everywhere. He had the squirrel syndrome. He had the shiny object syndrome. And I kept bringing him back to the reason why his products would work if he stayed focused and grounded. See, everybody wants to focus on the ads. Everybody wants to focus on if it's Shopify or if it's ClickFunnels. No, let's talk about the person behind the screen. Let's talk about the person that's looking at your message. Let's talk about when they're reading it, right, they have that connection. And as we kept feeding this to our students over and over again, my students would tell you that they must think I'm a parrot because I keep saying the same thing over and over again. When it finally clicked for Steven, that's when we were able to move to the next level. That's when we were able to see what was on the other side. Once he realized that it was not none of those things, because see, Steven tried to do Google ads, then he tried to do TikTok ads, then he tried to do Facebook ads, then he tried to do Snapchat ads. And then when he was like, coach, it's still not working, I said, I need you to come back and understand that there's a person on the other side that's waiting for you. There's a person that needs to hear your message. And until you understand that, you will not win.
Yeah. Dude, I freaking love it, man. That's amazing. Look, I know you got to get back to the conference. I just wanted to get you on here for a minute. You're definitely a huge part of Steven's story.
It's his story, but you know what? It's his journey. And like I tell all our students, we're just the tools and resources. And what's the biggest thing about our family is we truly stick together and we kick together. Okay. And if you're ready to be coachable, if you're ready to listen, if you're ready to understand that this is a transformation, I got what you need. You can take the red pill. I can show you how deep this rabbit hole can go, or you take the blue pill and keep chasing those tactics. All right. So, but that's what we're doing.
So, Steven, hey, we're going to have you
on.
You are
the one. You are the one, Steven. Jorge, you are the one. My family, you are the one. I'll catch up with you guys.
Hey, see you, buddy. Thanks for coming on, man.
Laters.
See ya. All right. Reggie himself in the flesh.
Yes.
Were you expecting that?
No, I'm surprised.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude.
That was awesome. Yeah.
All right. So let's I want to get back to your timeline. Let's move through the rest of your story and then get some tips for people. This has been amazing. The never quit part of your story is the real highlight for me. That's the one that I think is going to make the most difference in people's lives that are watching this. So let me pull this back up real quick. This was testing. Did you find a winner here? Apparently you found something.
Yes.
Okay. So tell us about this big spike right here. What is this? And by the way, I just want to keep reiterating, this is basically getting into Q3. I mean, it's like late Q2 and all of Q3 is like a sleepy period for ecom. Like everybody will tell you that. And you crushed it right here. So tell us about it.
So for this, it was just about getting the right strategy and creating more different creatives with whatever winner you find. So I know Kurt, he's always big on, hey, you need to have many different creatives once you do find a winner, because they do burn out. So I did different ones, and I was actually able to get on a few calls actually with Washington Helps, and he shared some valuable tips on, hey, this is how your creatives need to be. I need you to tell me a story. The TikTok, most of all my sales honestly have come from the TikTok platform. And when I first started, it was just basically just like, hey, just opening, showing music. But then as the year went by, I noticed that there was a shift as well. Like, hey, people actually want to see more of like a story being told when you're showing them a product. And Jim, he does great at with his voiceovers and his ads. He actually drops them in. He dropped a very good actual video in the ShineOn group where he actually went over, hey, this is why my voiceovers work. So you really have to like change your voice and really
You're
like
talking about Jim Cremella here at ShineOn. I
Yes,
bet you it was a shot
yeah.
of espresso. So for anybody that missed the beginning of the call, if you go to the top of the Facebook group, you click featured. All of our shots of espresso, coffee with Michael's announcements, all of that's in there. You may have to scroll for a while, but look for Jim's, and you'll probably be able to find this one that Steven's talking about.
Yeah, it's great. Really like try different hooks, trying different things on your creative to make make it even better and get more sales. So just about trying different things to see what works. Yep.
That's amazing. So all this spike here that we were just looking at, that's all kind of one other product that you found, right?
One other product.
You have another bump kind of in the like around August, like right here. Is this testing or is this money?
A little bit of both. I currently now I've been scaling a product and I found a completely different product, and it's working. Just pure like trying different UGCs, but most of it is testing. Honestly, this whole time I've been just testing for getting ready for Q4. But I did find one product that's actually bringing in consistent sales. So I've been turning it up a little bit.
That's amazing, man. I freaking love it. So you got Q4 ahead of you. This is the best time of year for e-commerce. It is absolutely, it rains money right now in e-commerce. I used to hate Christmas. I hated the crowds, hated the music. I hated spending money on stuff all the time. Now this is my favorite time of the year. It's all because of e-commerce. When the first trip I make through Costco every year and they have the Christmas trees out, I just start to get so freaking excited, man, because this tsunami of sales is coming. And if this is your first Q4, it is hard to fathom how much money drops into the market during this time period. It is you cannot comprehend it. It's unbelievable how much money gets dropped into e-commerce in this time period. You do not have to worry about saturation. You do not have to worry about competition. All that goes out the window because so much money is coming in. Everybody gets a piece of the pie, right? That's what Q4 is so amazing. So, dude, how are you now that you've got this behind you? You've got the experience. You've clearly hit winners consistently. How are you feeling about Q4 here?
Amazing. I'm excited. I'm going to bring back some of my past winners and then try some new phrases and keep going, working the system to see what works. Trying different things. I'm honestly, I'm first a student, so I'm in part of the ShineOn coaching and treasury, which is great, especially the treasury for new students. Kersha has so many great videos on there where you can go and just literally start. And also, if you would just want something free, I strongly suggest you guys to look at the shot of espresso from Mother's Day, where Kersha just went over how to run dirty 30s, and also you're setting up your first TikTok ad, which is great as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. Again, dude, you're investing in your education. It's another big theme. All of our top sellers, they are not afraid to spend money to learn one or two golden nuggets that help take them to the next level. So if you're out there, I encourage you to do that. Again, I want to reiterate, I actually feel like I need to say this after Reggie came on earlier. We're not advocating or encouraging anybody to go into debt here to do this. I personally, I don't think that's a great idea, okay? You know yourself, you know the situation you're in. If you kind of on an island decide that that's right for you to go into debt, then, more power to you. I am not going to encourage that at all from where I'm sitting. Don't go into debt to make this a reality. I think that that's probably dangerous. What you should do, though, maybe get a side job, maybe get a second gig, maybe do some Uber Eats, find a way to pay for those ads differently. And by the way, if you're not willing to do that, definitely don't go into debt because you're probably not willing to put in the actual work to make this a success anyways. One of the highlights of Steven's story is the dude he has a super solid work ethic. Like he never quit, ever. He was showing up to all the calls. He was taking tons of action the whole time, even when he was losing. You need that to succeed here. So anyways, I felt like I needed to highlight that again. But student first, man, you continue to invest in your education. So you've taken education from Reggie, you're in the treasury, you're in coaching. I'm sure there's other people here that you haven't mentioned. And again, this all started with those people you met in Miami. And you picked up their masterclass or whatever it was. So there's a theme here of investing in your education, constantly growing, remaining coachable, going after those 1 or 2 golden nuggets are going to take you to the next level. So that's amazing. All right. So I want to do the best we can to make this whole story as practical as possible for the new folks on the call here. So can we try to boil this down to maybe your top 3 to 5 tips for new people? These can be mindset shifts. They can be what they do with their focus. It can be anything you want. What are kind of the top 3 to 5 tips for new people listening to this that want to achieve your level of success?
So first, I would say keep going at your own pace. Really focus on the why. Why is someone buying this? The research is the most important part of the actual process. That's another thing as well. So honestly, you're gonna fail at first. You're gonna have to keep going. I don't consider them as failure. I consider them as like, hey, I'm learning, because every time I failed, I made adjustments to keep going and continue to get better every single day. And then if you can, I really cut my learning curve by finding a coach out there that actually went through this already and knows what he's doing, and actually helped me out into finding success.
Dig it, man. Do you have any others? So it's good, man. Let me recap this real quick. Go at your own pace, right? Focus on the why, and the why here it's not necessarily your why. It's why someone is buying the product, right?
Correct.
In marketing, one of the most important lessons I ever learned, marketing lessons I've ever learned, guys, this year is probably worth 20 grand, what I'm about to tell you. So get out your pens, get your notepad out. Here it is. You ready? It's super simple. It is, nobody cares about you. They only care about them, right? Nobody cares about you. They only care about them, right? The key to understanding the why when it comes to your customer is getting in their shoes and trying to say, what do they care about? I'm a mom. I've got a daughter going off to school that I dearly love. What do I care about in this situation? Like, what are my emotions? What are my thoughts? What are my experiences related to this? And then Steven reverse engineered a product that he thought would speak to that, right? He found a customer. He made the customer a product. It's not the other way around where you make a product and then try to find customers, right? Nobody cares about you. They only care about them. All right. So recap, keep going at your own pace. Focus on the why they buy. Research is the most important part of success, right? Let me ask you something. When it comes to your day-to-day activities, if you had to like break it out into a pie chart, how much of your time is spent on research? How big is that part of the pie?
Most of my time is spent on research because, again, I have a designer. So once I do my research and I start phrase building and have my phrases, I just send them off to her and then she makes them for me. So that's not hard for me. And then as far as you're actually making their ads, I'm always analyzing everything. I analyze the market, analyze my competitors, really figure out, hey, who's winning out there, and compare them. Always compare yourself to others. Like, hey, I already know what's winning. Once you identify what's winning, you can always compare that to yours. And I always ask myself, whatever I create, does it look as good as what someone else created that's actually winning? If the answer is no, then I have work to do. And I'm not saying the actual phrase itself. I'm saying the style of the ad.
You're not copying.
Using? Yeah,
you're not copying. But what you're saying here is that winning ads are the standard.
Yeah, winning ads are the standard. We have to dissect them and be like, why is this winning? How long is the ad? What type of music are they using? What type of transitions are they using? Where are they actually shooting that? Are they outside? Are they inside? Are there slideshows?
If you guys can do this analysis yourself, it's a free education. Right? Yeah. Because it's literally they're telling you, they're teaching you in that ad what is going to win, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, keep going at your own pace. Focus on the why. Research is the most important part of success. You said you spend most of your time in research, so it's a big part of the pie. And then finally, find a coach that's been through it already. And for you, it was Reggie. Reggie's been through this before. It sounds like you kind of clicked with Reggie. Reggie came through and helped you find success. Did I get that about right?
Yes.
There was one more, and I'm going to add another. So the one more that you said was when you run an ad, and it's not successful, you don't consider that a failure, right?
No.
It's a learning opportunity. You
No,
look
it's
at the
learning
ad.
opportunity. I have to analyze the data. What is the data telling me? It'll tell you if it's a bad ad, your CPMs are going to be high. So I really have to go back and look at my ad. What did I create?
Yeah, totally. I used to tell people this is helpful for new people. When you're running ads and you're not getting any sales, especially if you've never run ads before, you don't know what the marketing game is like. That hurts. It feels like you're just lighting money on fire. So I literally used to have to tell myself, I'm not wasting money. I'm buying data. I'm not wasting money. I'm buying data, right? Because that data, right, that is the valuable part, even if you don't make any sales, because that data tells you what you've done wrong. You know what I mean? Like if your click-through rate is high and then you have add to carts but no purchases, it tells you like, hey, maybe your shipping is jacked up. Or if your click-through rate is high and you're not getting any add to carts, it tells you a different story. You know what I mean? So you're buying data, you're not wasting money. Okay, now I have one more I want to add. And that is never quit. Never quit.
Yes.
Dude,
Keep going.
that is the heart of your story, in my opinion. Yeah. Do me a favor, friends. If you found this helpful, if you found today's interview with Stephen helpful, you found his story helpful, I want you to type never quit, all caps, in the comments below. Never quit, all caps, in the comments. Let Reggie know how much, or I'm sorry, Stephen know how much you appreciated having him on. Never quit in the comments. Stephen, while those roll in, I'm gonna start heading our, moving to wrap up here. Do you have any final thoughts, words of encouragement, anything you'd like to leave the community with here?
So I mean, every time I have trouble to keep going, I tend to actually turn on some motivational speeches out there, and my favorite one is by Denzel. He has one that I really love it, and in it it's called Dream Big. And then in that speech, he goes and tells a story where it's like, hey, imagine yourself, you're like in your deathbed, and surrounding you are all these ghosts, and these ghosts each represent your hopes and dreams. And now, as you're sitting there, they're all like, hey, we're looking over you, and we're just here to tell you, like, hey, you could have let us out to light, but instead we're here and we're gonna die with you. So everyone on this call, I ask you, how many ghosts are going to be standing next to you when you're on your deathbed? So I want you guys to actually keep going, work hard, and let those hopes and dreams out and keep going.
Amazing, man. So that was Denzel Washington. Dream Big is the name of the video.
Big, yeah, I listen to like almost every day. I love it. Yeah.
Dude, will you go get the link and drop it here? Maybe in the comments?
Yeah, I have it right here. Let me see. I have it up.
Yeah, drop it in the comments. This is homework, everybody. Homework. You're going to go watch this, and you need to feel a little bit guilty and afraid that you're not going to chase your dreams. This is motivation, okay? Pain can be motivating, all right? So go watch this. Let's see. I don't see it. Did you drop it?
Oh, I dropped it into the
comments?
The product. Oh, here we go. 1 second. Let's see here. I'm not able. I'm gonna send them to you personally, and then you can drop it. I'm not able to drop it. There you go.
No worries. All right, let me copy this. Stand by, everybody. Oh, you're right. It won't let me. You know what? Since you sent it to me, we're going to watch it. Let me figure out how to do this real quick. It's 10 minutes long. Hey, let me know. You guys want to watch this or not? It's 10 minutes long. Give me a thumbs up if you guys want to watch this in the comments. Thumbs up in the comments. We'll watch this Denzel thing together. Hopefully, it doesn't get my video taken down on YouTube or something. You never know. They're kind of wild with that kind of thing. Thumbs up in the comments if you want to watch a video together. It's 10 minutes. Hey, is there a foul language or anything like that we need people to know about? Okay.
No foul language.
Nothing in the video that Facebook isn't going to like?
No. I don't
okay.
believe it.
All right, we're getting thumbs up. We're going to do it. Give me a second, everybody. Figure out how to share this. I got to be able to share it with the sound, too. Bear with me. Share tab audio. Okay. Let me blow this up. All right. I'm going to play a little bit of it. I need a sound check here. I need to make sure you guys can hear it. Oh, whoops. I'm not sharing it yet, am I?
I found that nothing in life
Can you hear it?
is worthwhile.
Yes, I can.
All right, let's do it.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Without consistency, you'll never finish. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before, but I want to talk to you about why that's so important. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. And I know that's probably not a traditional message for a graduation ceremony, but hey, I'm telling you, embrace it because it's inevitable. In the acting business, you fail all the time. Early on in my career, I auditioned for a part in a Broadway musical. Perfect role for me, I thought, except for the fact that I can't sing. I didn't get the job. But here's the thing. I didn't quit. I didn't fall back. I walked out of there to prepare for the next audition, and the next audition, and the next audition. I prayed. I prayed. And I prayed. But I continued to fail and fail and fail. But it didn't matter because you know what? There's an old saying, you hang around the barbershop long enough, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. So you will catch a break, and I did catch a break. Last year, I did a play called Fences on Broadway. But here's the kicker. It was at the Court Theater. It was at the same theater that I failed that first audition 30 years prior. The point is, every graduate here today has the training and the talent to succeed. But do you have the guts to fail? If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. So imagine you're on your deathbed, and standing around your deathbed are the ghosts representing your unfulfilled potential. The ghost of the ideas you never acted on. The ghost of the talents you didn't use. And they're standing around your bed, angry, disappointed, and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes? I just got back from South Africa. It's a beautiful country, but there are places there with terrible poverty that need help. And Africa is just the tip of the iceberg. The Middle East needs your help. Japan needs your help. Alabama needs your help. Tennessee needs your help. Louisiana needs your help. Philadelphia needs your help. The world needs a lot, and we need it from you. We really do. We need it from you young people. I mean, I'm not speaking for the rest of us up here, but I know I'm getting a little grayer. We need it from you, the young people, because remember this. You got to get out there. You got to give it everything you got, whether it's your time, your talent, your prayers, or your treasures. What are you going to do with what you have? I'm not talking about how much you have. Some of you are business majors. Some of you are theologians, nurses, sociologists. Some of you have money. Some of you have patience. Some of you have kindness. Some of you have love. Some of you have the gift of long suffering. Whatever it is, whatever your gift is, what are you going to do with what you have? All right, now here's my last point about failure. Sometimes it's the best way to figure out where you're going. Your life will never be a straight path. I began at Fordham University as a pre-med student. I took a course called cardiac morphogenesis. I couldn't read it, I couldn't say it, I sure couldn't pass it. So then I decided to go into pre-law, then journalism. And with no academic focus, my grades took off in their own direction. I was a 1.8 GPA. And the university very politely suggested that it might be better to take some time off. I was 20 years old. I was at my lowest point. And then one day, and I remember the exact day, March 27th, 1975, I was helping my mother in her beauty shop. My mother owned a beauty shop up in Mount Vernon. And there was this older woman who was considered one of the elders in the town. And I didn't know her personally, but I was looking in the mirror, and every time I looked at the mirror, I could see her behind me, and she was staring at me. She just kept looking at me. Every time I looked at her, she kept giving me these strange looks. So she finally took the dryer off her head and she said something I'll never forget. She said, "Young boy, I have a prophecy, a spiritual prophecy." She said, "You are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people." And in the years that followed, just as that woman prophesied, I have traveled the world and I have spoken to millions of people through my movies. Millions who up till this day couldn't see me, who up till this day I couldn't see while I was talking to them, and they couldn't see me, they could only see the movie. They couldn't see the real me. But I see you today, and I'm encouraged by what I see. And I'm strengthened by what I see. Because taking risk is not just about going for a job. It's also about knowing what you know and what you don't know. It's about being open to people and to ideas. The chances you take, the people you meet, the people you love, the faith that you have, that's what's going to define you. Never be discouraged. Never hold back. Give everything you got. And when you fall throughout life, remember this: fall forward.
All right, man. That was good stuff.
Yes.
Dude, let's I think that's a good note to end on. Do you have any final words?
No, I want to thank everyone for joining our call here, and I hope my story was able to inspire you to keep going. There is light at the end of the tunnel, so I want to wish you guys the best, and I hope everyone here finds winners for Q4, and I wish everyone much success in their journey.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on, Stephen. Never quit. Fail forward, people. We'll catch you next week. Take care.